Hello, this is Jackrabbit Journal. The Jackrabbits opened the season with a loss at the University of Missouri, and we'll get to the game in a little bit, but to add to the insult of that loss, a huge injury to quarterback Austin Sumner, who goes down with a broken foot in the first quarter. And it was just such a letdown. All that preseason stuff, here's what's going to happen, goes out the window here in the first quarter when Sumner goes down.
It sure does. A painful situation, not only just for Austin, but for the entire program. A difficult situation. You know, you come out, you know you've got your guy, your four-year starter, all-conference quarterback, all-American talent. He's going to lead you to the promised land this year. Well, that's just like you said, all that's out the window. He's gone. Next man up. Little-known sophomore, who we'll talk about through the rest of this program. A lot is up in the air right now, and we'll see how the Jacks are able to respond throughout the rest of the season.
All right, our producer here on Jackrabbit Journal, David Brown, was at the game in Columbia, and here is his report.
A very tough start for the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. They lose their season opener at Mizzou 38-18, and they also ended up losing their starting quarterback. Austin Sumner was trying to evade some pressure in the pocket late in the first quarter when it appeared that his cleat got caught on the turf here at Memorial Stadium. He tried to get up after that, but simply could not, and the worst fears were confirmed at halftime and once again in the post-game locker room. Head coach John Stiglmeyer said he suffered a foot injury and that Sumner would be out a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks. After that, sophomore quarterback and the backup Zach Lujan came into the game, and the transfer from Shabbat College was a bit erratic at first, but he steadied himself and led the Jacks to a couple of nice drives in the second and third quarter. In fact, SDSU cut the lead to 21-18, but after that touchdown and two-point conversion, the ensuing kickoff was returned by Mizzou for a touchdown to increase their lead to 28-18, and the Jacks would not score again for the rest of the game. There are some positives to take out of this game, however. The defense shut out the Mizzou offense in the second and third quarter. As I said, the only touchdown that Mizzou got in that time frame was on that kickoff return, and Lujan seemed to steady himself both in the second and third quarter as well. He was throwing some deep balls, he had a nice zip on his passes, and he's going to need to be the leader for this team moving forward, as Sumner is out for a minimum of a month and a half. But nevertheless, it is still a loss. The Jacks are 0-1 as they fall to Mizzou 38-18. Up next for SDSU is Cal Poly, who comes to Coughlin Alumni Stadium on Saturday, September 6th. A little bit later in our show, Coach Stiglmeyer will break down the film from this game, both in the first and second half, and offer his analysis on what went right and what went wrong. But for now, I am David Brown reporting from Columbia, Missouri. Let's send it back to the studio and Tom and Hank.
All right, thank you, David. And it was a little up in the air at that time, but they pretty much had it right on. It is 6 to 8 weeks with a broken foot for Austin Sumner. Here is Coach Stiglmeyer when we talked to him on Monday.
There's no one in our program that's a harder worker. His dedication to his football team, both leadership and studying and mentoring, is phenomenal. And we say, play like it's your last play, and that this is an example that it's going to cost him a bunch of his senior year.
Well, Tom, it is somewhat difficult to put into perspective just how big of a deal this actually is for the Jackrabbits. Austin isn't just some guy who won the starting job out of fall camp, and this is his first year as the quarterback. He's a four-year starter. He's an all-conference football player. He's the leader of this team, and now he is gone. And so where do they start from here? Well, they start just like they do every other week and put a game plan in place and try to win a football game this next week.
All right, we'll get to know Zach Lujan a little bit later in the show. And the game did go on. It was 38-18. Missouri comes out the winner. And when we come back, we'll go to Coach Stiglmeyer's office and take you through the big plays of the first half against Missouri.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Billionato.com.
All right, let's get to the Jackrabbits at Missouri in the season opener. And as a fan, what was the best that you could possibly hope for going in and through the first quarter of this game?
Certainly that they could stay in the game, okay? Weather the storm, get rid of the jitters, and acclimate themselves to the type of athleticism that was in front of them.
All right, they got down. It was 21-7 at the end of the first quarter, but they did, as you said, they hung in there after that, and Stig says that he and his guys did not have a lot of nerves. Here is the coach on that, and then the big plays of the first half.
Once the game starts, you really are focused on the game. The crowd was special, I thought. It was a special situation. The tough part was the heat and the humidity. That was torture on our players. We'd never had a day similar to that during fall camp.
Did you have the sweater on the whole game?
I didn't put the vest on. No, I'm tough, but I'm not that tough.
All right, let's get into the first half here. And going to see the opening kickoff here. What was the kickoff strategy here to open the game?
This is a young man from Kansas City, and so this is his area. And I said, "Did you kick one out of bounds during warm-ups?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Good, it's out of your system." And he goes and kicks it out of the bounds because that's what when he gets pumped up. Now here you can see our base defense. The 3 men front the whole game. They got us in that. They had our corner was part of the fitter. They showed a pass look, and so he dropped out and got some yards. This is unacceptable. This is just flat out a breakdown in coverage, and that allowed them to get points, easy points, on the third play of the game, and that makes us seem like we're not worthy to play. And here you see a little bit of a bobble, but again, Zach Zenner is just a phenomenal player. Our fat guys do a pretty good job up front, and I mean the first play of our offense, he does something he's done many times in his career.
75 yards for Zenner there, ties it up 7-7 after the first 2 possessions, and he's always just fast enough to outrun the next guy. But next Missouri possession here, Dallas Brown makes a nice play.
Yeah, I was excited about the way Dallas played the whole football game, really, but he got in the throwing lane, and Jerine was there. Here you see us, that's not how we want to use our quarterbacks, but when you have a running back like Zenner and Mingarelli and those guys, they're going to defend them, and here you see Austin get some easy yards.
I was excited to see that play. Sumner gets 17 there, and then here's Mingarelli, the redshirt freshman. Gets tripped up, but he used him a little bit early on, didn't he?
We did. He cramped up later in the game. You'll see as you watch this video their dominant defensive line, and they showed it there. We lost the line of scrimmage. Here you just see their guy beat our guy, outran Jerine Butler. Jerine maybe needs to open up a little earlier, needs to press out a little bit more and slow the guy down, but you have to give some credit to a program like this. They have good players.
Butler was there, just didn't make the play.
Yes.
All right, next Jack's possession here, 3rd and 11, and a pass that's tipped, and that's the first interception of the game.
Yeah, a turnover. We had 3 of them in the game, way too many in a game like this. But our deal, our mentality is to go onto the field and stop them. You can see this is our first play. We have a number of opportunities. Grab cloth, grab flesh. And right here he just gets the angle. But now there you see the effect of athletic ability on the football field, because that guy is a great athlete, different than a lot of guys we play in our league.
Yeah, there's pretty good players in the SEC, and Hansbrough goes in there. It's 21-7, Missouri, and then the Jacks will get settled in here a little bit. Sumner avoids the pressure, and then that's where he hurts the foot, breaks the bones in the foot.
Yeah, he just gets his foot caught in the turf. It feels so bad for him because of his dedication, not his playmaking ability, but he's just loved by so many. And here you see us playing pretty good defense. We stunted there. Schuster makes a nice play in the backfield. You'd prefer to not have to stunt to play great defense, but you'll see it happen a couple times in this game.
Drew Kreitzfeld will come up with another play here. And some guys that haven't played a whole lot in the last couple of years, but Schuster and Kreitzfeld and guys making some plays.
Yeah, well, that's our football team. We're going to play a number of guys, and when you're on the field, play your tail off. Good defense holds them to a field goal, and they miss the field goal.
All right, still 21-7 late in the first quarter here, and then Zach Lujan takes over. That's first snap, and he falls on it there, but it would get a lot better later on in the football game for your sophomore quarterback.
Zach did a really good job in the game. Here you see them. They hardly ever line up with tight ends. It almost looks foreign to us when they came out with them. And there you just see Dallas miss the tackle on the edge there, and it looked a little scary, but we make the play.
That was on a 4th down, but later on 3rd and 16, Nick Mears with some defense here.
Yeah, really nice. Good job by our coaching staff reminding us that that's a screen situation. Nick had him man-to-man and stalked him, that's what we call it, and was there to help make the play.
All right, Missouri missed another field goal on that possession, and the Jacks come back here. Zenner inside for 9 yards, and then Zach Lujan is going to hit a kid named Jake Wenicky, who had a really nice game.
Jake, for a redshirt freshman, had a phenomenal game. again, in this environment, he played most of the game. Again, nice throw, nice confident throw by Lujan there to build confidence in him and our team and him. And here you see Justin Siravatka come out, great kicker for us, and gets us some points.
All right, good for Justin. 39 yards there. It's 21-10. Missouri in the lead here late in the first half, and then some more defense to close out the half. Kevin Klosick, another guy that's getting some experience here early on.
Yeah, again, he's a senior. He's paid his dues. You can see us a three-man rush just about the whole football game. Nice job here again by Kevin, and he throws it out of bounds. That was a unique series talking to the officials on that thing, but we got what we wanted and we kept him out of the end zone.
They asked Missouri's coach what the time should have been there. Is that what you're saying?
I really don't understand. I thought there was about 31 seconds left, and then they ended up putting 41, I think, on the clock, and I'm going, what the heck? But we're in charge. It was a long yardage situation, so I wasn't going to argue.
All right, 21-10 at the half, and after they hit you with a couple of big plays, I thought the defense, midway through that first half, settled in and played pretty well.
I thought our defense played very well. We made some changes in the second half because we came with a three-man rush, and he had a lot of time. People that watched the game saw that, and so we needed to bring that guy that was stalking him a little earlier. We did that, and we really played great defense in the second half.
When we come back, the Jackrabbits drive it down the field, stick it in the end zone to start the second half, and it starts to get a little interesting in Columbia.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
Welcome back. Missouri leads the Jackrabbits 21-10 at halftime. And this is the SEC, man. This is big time. Did you think the Jackrabbits really had a chance going into the second half?
Well, they had a chance because they were there. But the fact was, I think at this point my face was still in my hands over the fact that number 6 was down,
yeah.
And we were trying to figure out where we were going to go from there. But of course they had a chance. They were within striking range. There is a 2-score ball game, and there was a lot of football yet to be played.
All right, they do get right back in it. Stig says he had every confidence that his team could win this game. Here is Stig on that, and then the big plays of the second half.
We didn't go down there thinking we're going to get blown out. We went down there expecting to win the football game, and we played ourselves at that scenario. We played ourselves into that situation.
All right, and get very close here to start the third quarter. And this was just a beautiful opening drive to start the third quarter. You're going to get Lujan to Zenner here, who picks up yardage and gets first down.
Yeah, you know, anytime you can get the ball in Zach's hands, good things can happen. And again, Zach Lujan here again throwing for a first down to Matt Raymond, another guy that hasn't played a lot of football for us, but is a playmaker, is an energy type guy.
Jason Schneider looked very good again, 27 yards on a nice catch here.
That's a really nice throw, a nice catch. You see how athletic Jason Schneider is by catching that, staying in bounds, getting us some extra yards. Really good football player for us.
Schneider using that size again here on a rollout, picks up 10 yards and another first down.
Yep, another good call by Coach Eidsness. Got Zach rolling out to be able to throw it. Really good job on the screen here. We get people blocked up. Zach sets one guy up, gets a few extra yards. Now you can see they don't mess around. They'll hit you in the open field. Great design by our offense here. Zach basically walks into the end zone. They saw something in short yardage that we were able to exploit. Many times you get one chance at that this chance worked.
All right, why go for 2 here?
Well, it was a 5-point game. You know, touchdown is the same if you get a touchdown, so we wanted to get it within 3 points so you could tie with a field goal. That's what our card says, Tom, so that's what we do.
All right, 21-18. Missouri in the lead, and then this.
This is so disappointing. A great kick, fit the play right. We have a guy hop outside there. We have a guy miss it, an unblocked guy. And then now here, the joke's not over here. You run him out of bounds. Fundamental football. And grab cloth there, make them try to drive it in. And so the play, you know, could have been a long kickoff return and then try to stop them, but we let them get in the end zone. Kills you in those situations.
All right, 28-18, Missouri in the lead, but then Lujan, great catch again by Winneke, who had 6 catches on the day.
Next play. You know, we're not going to lay down. You know, we're going to come back and battle. Great play by Jake, great throw by Zach.
And then Lujan trying to throw it to a spot here for Jason Schneider, but overthrow it.
Well, that's a young guy error because we ran a slant and go. Well, the guy didn't bite, so don't throw it deep where he's going to be. Throw it underneath because he was open underneath. A mistake.
But again, getting into the red zone and not coming in with points there, but going to come back again and pursuit by Austin LeBlanc to make a play here and get the football back, and then Lujan with a couple of third down conversions.
Yeah, again, nice catch by the receiver there, Connor Landberg. We played some good defense prior to this, so we've got a chance to be in this football game. Good throw to a young guy, Dallas Goddard. Really nice play. The non-scholarship guy that's playing for us already in his career.
All right, drive would stall a little bit later here. Lujan gets sacked, and we go to the fourth quarter. It's still only 28-18, Missouri in the lead, though.
Well, the football's a funny game. You can make a play and you're into the game. This is disappointing here. Ethan Sawyer had such a good day punting the ball, and like I asked him what happened, and just took his eye off it, dropped a little bit outside, and didn't get it. This should be a sack. Way too much time. We brought 5 guys. Or bat the ball down, but that's too easy. You're not going to win football games if you give people scores like that. And disappointed in that. That'll break your back.
All right, 35-18. Mizzou in the lead here in the fourth quarter, but Lujan again had a nice day. 21 completions on the day, 3rd and 14. He goes for 25 yards here to Winneke. And then another 3rd and 7 coming up, and he goes to Winneke again.
Winneke is so much like Schneider in the fact that he's such a big target. So great throws don't have to be great when the guy's that big. And again, give credit to Jake for making those plays. Here we just got to hang on to the ball. We can get back into this football game. Nobody works any harder than Jason Schneider, and they got it out. I was going to challenge that. You can challenge these games, and I talked to Jason. He said, "Don't challenge it." I fumbled it, so he took care of my decision-making process. And here we're just worn out. Here the game is late in the game, and they get some yards running the ball. I don't worry about that type of stuff. I worry that if we don't play hard when we're out there. We're playing hard. They're just fresh, and we're worn out.
All right, 38-18 is the final. Lujan, 21-28, 239 yards. Zenner had a couple of touchdown runs. Offensive line gave up 3 sacks against these Missouri defensive ends are really good. Your assessment of the offensive line?
I think we can play better, but I think they did a pretty good job. Their defensive ends, their defensive tackles, that's the best D-line we'll face. And so you don't want the 3 sacks, but we'll build on it.
All right, Hank, 2 things they're important in every game. You got the turnovers. The Jacks had 3, Missouri had none. You got that, and then the big plays, things that are important in every game, but more so when you're playing the big boys from the SEC, right?
Yes, most definitely. In any game, any team is focused on eliminating the big plays and, of course, cutting down on turnovers, if not avoiding them at all. And, yeah, you play against teams like this, and you have numerous occasions where those things take place. You're in trouble. The
kickoff return, the special teams is another spot where it just gets blown up even more, right? Because these guys from Missouri that are on that kick return team taking that for back for a touchdown, these guys can play. They'd be starters on a lot of FCS teams.
Right. Missouri's 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
There's a difference between Missouri's 2s and 3s and SDSU's, and it's painfully obvious when special teams are on the field.
All right. Jacks hang in there though, but they fall 38-18 to Missouri, and part of that was the play of Zach Lujan. Who is this kid? We got the story on him and a couple of other young players who stood out for the Jackrabbits.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
All right, we can go a couple ways here. We can go with You Don't Mess with the Lujan, great Adam Sandler movie. You can go He is Zach, Don't Call Me Lindsay Lujan. He is Gaucho Gunslinger on Twitter. And Zach Lujan, he's from Anchorage, Alaska. Won a state high school championship there 2 years ago. His dad is a football coach. He played last year at Chabot College, a junior college in California. When he signed with the Jackrabbits a year ago, he was quoted as saying, "I want to go there, be a 3-year starter there." Well, he's going to get more than that, maybe. But he was pretty impressive when he came in this ball game.
He certainly was. It was a great job by the young man stepping up for his team and doing his job. Sure, skittish early on, which is certainly to be expected on that stage for a young man who's never taken a snap in the blue and yellow. But he played his tail off, and there's a lot of good things that we're able to take away from that.
All right, here is Lujan after the game, and then Coach Stig giving him a grade.
My first game here at SDSU, and against a very, very good opponent. So I think I kind of psyched myself out a little bit. So the more reps I got and everything, I felt like I belonged and proved to myself I belonged. You know, I felt like I had a pretty solid outing.
I would give him an A- right now, only because I expect more, but I was really happy with what he did.
All right, Lujan was pretty good. One other guy that stood out for the Jackrabbits for you.
Redshirt freshman Jake Winneke, 6 catches, 107 yards in his debut as a Jackrabbit. Not bad at all.
All right, we'll see who, when the Jacks get another shot this weekend, who can stand out. They play Cal Poly in the home opener on Saturday. We'll talk about that next.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
The Jackrabbits open the home season on Saturday against Cal Poly. They have not played each other since 2011. Cal Poly's beaten the Jacks the last 3 times that they played each other. You don't have good memories of playing these guys, do you?
No, none whatsoever. A very good football team, program with a lot of history, a program that Coach Stig and his staff are very familiar with. We've tussled with them since the transition to Division I on a number of occasions. They're going to spread the Jacks out, and then they're going to run the football. Try to beat them with their agility and quickness and speed. They're not a bunch of tough guys coming out of California. California boys don't like to get hit in the mouth.
Cal Poly lost its opener to New Mexico State. They threw the ball 7 times, completed 2 passes. Otherwise, they ran it 49 times in that game, and that's what we're going to see out of this. We talked with Tom Barquette, the radio play-by-play guy for Cal Poly.
Our coach, Tim Walsh, if he didn't have to throw the football, I don't think he would. I mean, he loves running the option. When he was the offensive coordinator at Army, that's what he was doing then. He brought it to Cal Poly 6 seasons ago, and it's his thing.
Last note, Tom, hats off to the Jackrabbit defense. They were fantastic on 3rd down against the Tigers. Missouri only 3 of 11 last Saturday, which is a big stat for the Jacks, something they need to carry over this week against Poly.
All right, 6 o'clock game this Saturday at Coughlin. We'll see you next week.